Unfortunately, transformation robs them of speech.
Only one of us will still stand by the end of the day.
Hail, Kerzer!
Aha! Open sesame!
Nice, Tedatu.
Out of the kettle, into the cauldron.
I shall not repeat Emir's mistakes.
Man's got the wares, if you've got the coin. Oh, be ashamed to let this beauty go to waste.
We finish them, then I finish you.
I don't work for free. Psst, how about this one? I spy with my evil eye.
The good of the Empire, that is what matters.
Keep the peace or keep the coin. Choice is yours.
Slow, ain't ya?
I shall do what I must.
I pledge it upon the heron.
My Fistech's purest tea is purest in all Nilfgaard.
No point in dawdling!
Notice! All roads lead to Nilfgaard.
One man's battlefield is another man's ripe patch for harvest.
I shall save humankind from what my visions portend.
Perhaps a different ingredient. An active one.
Use it. Not sure for what just yet, but...
Belly or throat? Got a preference?
loveliest of maids!
Be so kind as to follow me.
You are worthy neither of mercy nor forgiveness!
Cold night descends.
I forgive you. This time.
Burak!
I shall never be alone again.
We make certain that Naglfar is ever sated.
My duty? To stick my nose where it doesn't belong.
Don't make me do this. I've seen how it ends.
I am here to lend a helping hand.
A word once given, we never break. I divined this move from a sparrow's innards.
The Empire brings progress, advances civilization.
Ledwed varledo sial moga.
The senses can be fooled easily.
Your humble servant.
Gentlemen, to work.
Oh, blast this cold.
Quite the menial task.
legacy immortalized.
Come to me.
Egreto dum anima est, des est.
Your blood will warm my bones.
NL Riders, attack!
All gentlemen have their vices.
Do I enjoy torture? Perhaps. A bit.
Stop fluttering, little swallow, or I'll burn your feathers off.
I will not have you gaze at me so.
A word once given, we never break.
The dark, the silence. Welcome back, Geralt of Rivia.
All as one! Where's Sabrina? Axe or mace, sir? Death to the invaders!
Your souls will propel this longship.
Feel my cura! Go on!
So much hatred. So much spite.
Long sword, back sword. Arming sword, bastard sword.
What can I do for you?
We make certain that Naglfar is ever sated.
No! No!
For Radovid!
presence of nobility, will ya?
For Redania! For its glory! We ride into the fray!
Artifact removal from the hunter form.
Okay, and I think I more or less set things up, so should be good to go and watch the games as well. Sorry, tournament platform is what it is, but at least we don't have to worry about coins here. Of course, Lemon can provide us with information about the formation, leader charges, and also carapace. We do see first leader charge going in immediately. No hesitation.
Yes, this protects against that potential lock. It's important that your first self-feeder sticks, because that's when you're going to be buffing up, and then you can bring that back later on, albeit maybe need to be a little worried about that squirrel. Notice that the tome was actually kept through the mulligan phase by Lerio, because that is going to be put to the bottom of the deck with Curse Scroll, so that's no worries about drawing into it in later draw phases. Likely going to draw into the operator as well, I'd imagine. Since you have a copy of basically every bronze, you want to get as many self-eaters through early on as possible so that basically one of them is guaranteed to stick. Also sets up the opposing incubus.
I've seen the Griffin and I was scared for a second of Predatory Dive being the card that was rolled. But...
Oh, that would be disgusting. But look at that veil blocking the bleed from the Bruxa.
And I guess with the Bruxa being the drive unit, Dauren has a 4 and a 5, so it plays for better value than the Archisport that is limited to 4. So this decided to keep it, or even without wasting the bleed on the whale, can get 1 extra point.
This Fiend can quickly become quite awkward for Lerio, since you'd expect Dauren to clog up this front row. Probably ends up playing a more back row, but we'll see. Yeah, the operator being played back row, that is potentially less points if the Fiend does go there as well.
So for the Necromancer Storm, there is a Heat Wave, there is Shoot as an answer, but at least with the, if combined with the Last Wish, it gets some value through immediately. Necromancy as well. We'll see how Lerio plays it out.
Yeah. So I imagine that Marine is targeting the Calvi. It's not found immediately, but with the number of tactics in Dauren's list, it should move pretty close to the top of the deck. No real way for this Marine to be answered. So it's going to be 2 points per turn, but this is already quite a lead. I don't see how this will be able to catch up.
So maybe this is the Nilfgaard's approach with artifacts. I'll establish it. If you push the clicks out, well, you do. If not, I'll try to preserve some carry over for round 3. But yeah, the self-eaters are growing. The graveyard is getting developed slowly but surely. So we'll see. Yeah, look at this. Gwent and Lerio, of course, is not clicking the self-eaters because you want to bring the big copies out so that they are not just pinged off by something like a crossbowman.
Yeah, and it's better for carryover, especially if one gets if a self-eater gets self-eaten by a squirrel, the other one can be brought back by an incubus.
Maybe right about now Dauren is thinking of why didn't I put the experimental remedy into my deck. That would have been potentially denying a lot of value as well, but not exactly hard. You get a lot of value from playing Shoop soldiers.
A lot of pings finding their way onto the self-eater. Should be safe from any removal. Also note that the Joust and Assassination both missed here for Dauren. Assassination could have killed the self-eater that was summoned from the operator. But yeah, that was missed, and yeah, Joust not able to do awfully much here either, because even if it was found, nothing is sticking at 4 power for a turn. Witch Apprentice coming down, this basically is going to match the Imperial Marine on the other side. And it's... yeah, I mean, maybe Rune Mage is the only sort of good point play for Dauren. Also keep in mind, with no Carl V, there's no guarantee you draw into good cards to actually defend the bleed and set up that carryover as we were discussing. You do have the War Council and the Mushy Truffle, but you very well might miss the Bakala, which would be quite nice to establish.
Yeah, you might miss Troop as well, which is and Heat Wave. And then we already see a bunch of relicts going into the graveyard. Quite decent Obsidian Mirror value if you were to trigger stuff.
Yes. Although in saying that, if we do see the card be played next round, War Council can find one of the cards which was moved to the top of the deck. No Sabbath right now for Dauren either, so this back row Witch Apprentice is not online. Now it can get a little bit more awkward for Lerio in terms of what you want to commit. Like, you don't want to play the Self-Eater, Unicorn, Golden Neck, nor Necromancy, so it's almost as if you're forced to just play this Brewers and then pass. I think you can definitely afford to play the Brewers. Unless... I think the only other choice is a pass here. Or you can commit the Self-Eater if you don't think your Dauren would pass. So just try engine. Oh, split.
Split for an extra trigger and at least getting something out of this Bruce play, but yeah, she is no match to the Archfiend Heavy Cavalry and goes away immediately. Okay, so Dauren is getting the Sabbath on the front row, so the engine starts, also the nice Lerio an engine, and now it's passing time. But Dauren should be making the points quite easily with the Rune Mage and the engine triggering twice.
Maybe consideration to play location if you were like heavy set on bleeding, but yeah, I don't think that's too much of a good choice. Now, yeah, nothing much here matters largely. Surprised we didn't actually just see a Marine to try and move something else a little bit higher in the deck that could have played for like some carryover. Like, yeah, I would have expected, I don't know, you try and make it more likely to draw, say, the Rodeo or something. Or the Shoop, or the Bakala, but
Yeah,
does
maybe
find the coffee as
avoiding
expected.
the necessity to only have Marines and Calvit to rely on.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, there's maybe an argument that you don't want to draw too many golds if you're going for more of a value bleed. But considering you could have smuggled them anyways because they'd go to top with Calvit, like, I think that would have been fine. You do kind of need to play into this round 2 to establish the Calvit as Dauren. This gives Lerio a huge chance to stay ahead, keep card advantage. Also, naturally, Nova plays for resilience. It's more points than Calvit, able to get ahead straight away. Now, that's kind of sketchy with that being your first play into Shoop, which is why we see the Riptide to establish sort of a lower power body so that Shoop Hunter or even Shoop Mage isn't as much of a worry. Now, being melee Rolocked is a bit annoying because it does play into this Imperial Fleet infusion on this front row off of the back hull.
And Marine should be guaranteed points with the Shoop.
Yep. And yeah, protecting around the Unicorn Kyrenex play, not wanting to face that 6 damage. No Incubus is quite unfortunate here for Lerio. Self-Eater's quite sad. Playing it now means you don't have another Self-Eater in deck to sort of trigger the Necromancer's Tome later on. Although I don't think you would be expecting this Necromancer's Tome to be sticking around for more than 1 turn regardless. See protection from potential lock. Quite wise because of this Rodea sitting in Dauren's hand, and I don't think we will see any split on the Self-Eater because of that fact. And maybe there's an argument to do so right before Unicorn Kyrenex gets played, however, since that is a double proc, so it would sort of double up the points that they would provide. But again, yeah, splitting is kind of worse for your carryover at the same point.
No, I actually see Dauren in the position we were talking about. Let me just develop the carryover. And Squirrel is also a carryover card. Should be dealing with... well, there are 3 Self-Eaters, but considering Lerio has Necromancy, you might just deny the bigger one. Of course, you can say on the RNG that he gets the smaller ones after splitting, but... since Necromancy is a card. No, goes for...
Witch Apprentice, which also is not great if you're Illusionist now. But yeah, if they all come out of the graveyard, then it doesn't really help regardless having them there.
A bit unexpected, I must say, considering the fact that she's not doing much in this round. And you will be continuing playing into round 2 a little bit more. Okay, so Necromancy onto the Self-Eater is what we see. Of course, there is Rodea for the lock, but that's not a play establishing carryover on the board.
No. And we see this Shoop 3 deal 3? Is that a consideration here? Oh no, it's... Okay, Heatwave on the 9 power. But yeah, we actually see that this was actually really nice from Lerio, because Necromancying another Self-Eater allows these splits to be established, and just to maximize the double Relic proc coming out from the Unicorn Kyrenex. Which is, I don't see any reason why that would not be the play here. Maybe a bit annoying that you haven't gotten Siri Nova onto the board up to this point. But, yeah.
I mean, getting a card should be equaling the 8 power carryover anyway, so... There we go.
Yeah.
A double proc on 3 engines, also pretty good value from the ponies themselves, and now nothing stops Dauren from committing the Mashed Raffle. Also, yeah, Lerio gets the freedom of just slamming the Nova.
Yeah, arguably the threat of the Nova would be the thing stopping you, but maybe Dauren is saying, well, I get 6 carryover anyways playing my Truffle. With no Witch Apprentice, the Illusionist play is pretty weak regardless, so I'll just go for this. I mean, surely Nova is just the play here. I don't think you gain much by decreeing anything.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think you're worried about the Nova getting answered. Oh, actually, sorry, there is a Diviner.
There is a
But
Diviner.
Diviner would be to play Diviner and catch up. That would be huge commitment of like
that will be
orders
just
from
the reason to
Dauren.
get over.
And it's not like Dauren would really play anything else here to play into this. So like this is like your last chance to really play the Nova. So yeah, Lerio takes it, and it should be established, I imagine. Now, Rodeo back row could play for 14 points, would be able to get ahead, and then depending on what else you want to play, it very well could be wise for Dauren to go for a full commit, play the Rodeo, play the Truffle, the War Council. Should be doing the maths onto whether, I mean, the most points here would be a Weavus, right? So you have 11 plus 3 Self-Eater procs, that's 14. I believe it would do it, but I think it's a little too late.
Yeah, click everything might be not what Dauren can do. How many leader charges was there left?
I believe 3 remaining.
Okay, so that's putting him at like 57. Maybe he could have just got both cards out, or like got the golden necker out.
Yeah.
And considering you do get Ramon, Radea is gone, so Shup, Ramon, Nausicaa. But no carryover on the board, like if we're talking about.
Yeah.
Are you beating Lerio's hand with no with no toe? Maybe that was a line to consider.
Yeah. These incubuses can be pretty solid here. We do have the decree being able to, I imagine, guarantee access to. Probably, I'd say Gunseen is more important to find than the Weavers on the Necromancer's turn. And then you can try to find the Crone with the Last Wish. Likely see Incubus beforehand to establish a soldier pocket. Did I say soldier pocket?
Yeah, I was like, okay.
Relics pocket.
I mean, the soldier has been established, so but of course Dauren had a soldier pocket with Ramon into Sergeant anyway. Okay, so the engines against Nilfgaard, they do get locked, and we also see that considering the round length is not that long, Dauren decides not to go for Ramon into another lock. Just commits the cavalry.
Yeah, and I think splitting the row. Oh, actually, no. Lerio was the one to split the rows. Wait. Oh, no. Sorry. Ramon wasn't a choice for the cavalry because that came from the Incubus. It was the Rodeo lock.
Ah, okay.
Right?
Sorry. Yeah. My bad. This is actually. Yeah.
Yes, I was like thinking about Fiend and placement and stuff, but this is the second Incubus coming out. It says fleet. I don't think you're doing much with a fleet here. And opts to use the additional leader to make sure this last self-leader doesn't get locked. But yeah, there's no locks remaining. So is it damage that's being protected from? Not sure.
And there's Shup lock. Shup doing Shupy things.
I'm surprised Dauren isn't splitting rows to play around the Fiend a bit better. I don't think there's any reason to row stack. Ooh, Witch Apprentice is not too bad.
Witch Apprentice will be active. And now we do see the beauty of sequencing Tome into a special, because yeah, that's bringing another 9 points to the board. So Last Wish showing either Cyclops or Fiend, and only Fiend is present in the graveyard.
Yeah.
Well, there is of course Vivis as a decent play as well, so
So at this point, I don't think it would be entirely correct to take the Artifact Destroy from Shoop, which we see Dauren opting not to take. Just saving it for the last play, and I guess if Knight isn't going to catch up, then we might just see some Shoop Mage shenanigans, which
everyone, of course, likes very much, surely.
Yes. But yeah, finds the Weaver. So the Weaver's is 11 points here. The Fiend would be 15. Although when I say the Weaver's is 11, I'm not counting the 2 additional points would provide the Whispers. So I think Fiend actually would have been more points there.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out why the protection doesn't do much, as this is the last turn anyway.
Yeah. You have one less body, make the Shoot Mage less unlikely, perhaps? I could see the argument being if you're ahead.
A small unit, that would have been worse to steal.
Or making sure you don't have a super big unit that would make the difference, I'm not sure. But I think it just has to be Shoot Mage for Dauren here. I don't think Destroy Random Enemy would do the trick either.
Shouldn't.
Even if you find...
channeling his inner Sanvanter at the moment.
Yeah.
I remember that it didn't matter in the bigger picture, but it was moral damage when he was playing against the Magawa months ago. No, goes for the 6s on the Hunter, 3x3.
3-3.
But it's definitely not winning you the game, especially knowing that opponent only has 1 card in the deck.
Yeah, actually, I don't even know if that beats Cyclops because of Witch Apprentice. 2 points, I think I didn't count. But yeah.
Okay, GG's, and we got the first victory. Where is the screen? And of course, Lemon's favorite deck wins.
A bit, I guess, abnormal because usually there's a bit of polarization as to which deck prefers which coin. Alternatively, maybe Dauren is trying to ensure that he finds a particular matchup, which could be another reason you start with queuing the same deck.
We've seen a lot of Nilfgaard versus Self-Wound shenanigans, and it doesn't really end up well for Skellige. Of course, this is Shoop, but Shoop himself can destroy stuff, can lock stuff, and considering Ramon into Alba Cavalry is a thing. Let's see how Skellige stops itself from damaging itself a bit too much while getting locked.
Yeah, this is quite an awkward hand for Lerio in terms of trying to establish a Svalbard Priest or a Demon Corsair. No Drakkar, unless you a Neuromancy for it, which I don't think that's wise, especially when Squirrel exists in the opponent's deck. So if you want to establish one of your Bronze Engines, you probably have to play the Old Guard quite early here. Even then, you're likely vulnerable to this assassination unless you delay, and it just starts to get quite awkward. So,
I don't know, maybe he has enough. No, missing Soulblood, missing Gartrold is big. I just feel that maybe you'll have to go for the... Okay.
There's also an argument to just go for the KO Troll in round 1, whilst there's a chance that your opponent is still missing Shoop/Heatwave, particularly Shoop because it's just such an efficient answer for the KO Troll.
And yeah, for now this is Olgierd Immortal. This allows the Svalbard Priest to start working, but the problem is Assassination's present, so I was thinking maybe you somehow establish some board to play around Assassination, play the risk the Neuromancy still to be Squirrel, because Squirrel is such a slow tempo play from blue.
There's also Vial, which you can play this next turn and then boost up the Priest. That would be fine. And I believe... Wait, why protect that? Oh, playing around the Canute. Okay, sure.
Okay, so I removed the artifact from the screen as well, as I didn't remove the player name. So Lerio is on top, Dauren is at the bottom, but the tournament platform usually heals itself after the first game of not showing names.
Yep.
Okay, bye bye priest. No,
Yep.
while
Maybe.
Target acquired.
Yeah, I think Lerio just tried to risk it for the biscuit here, but the biscuit tin just ended up empty. So still not super nice for Dauren in terms of what to play here. Wait, actually, Bruja is kind of funny against Olgierd, never mind.
Yeah, the power cannot be changed, eh? But look, the assassination is out, so please give me more control, says Lerio, and of course Rune Mage into assassination is the play we're seeing here. Or maybe lock. Yeah, okay.
Decision.
Okay, decoded weapon is not as good.
Yes. So do you answer the Canute now to give another Canute later? Or do you just let it stick? You could also play this crossbowman perhaps, try to get enough pings onto this Canute to kill it off, but that seems a little questionable.
Yeah,
at
the
same
random
time.
damage cards like crossbowman are not that great. Okay, so we deal with the threat, but then it comes back in later, so magic of Skirige, but not through the graveyard this time around. It's actually provided to you by Nilfgaard's assassins.
Yeah, this one, it's not Sigdrifa's right, it's Sigdrifa's wrong.
Ah, you love to hear it.
Yeah, this Bruja just looks super juicy, especially now that you have low power units. You're not going too tall in one, even playing around the spores, although I mean, the spores is always coming onto the marine. That's likely the reason why Lerio could actually stick around in this round.
Okay, cue the Simpson gif. In and out and in again.
Goodbye, Rune Mage. More leaders being used up. And not quite ahead. So this is maybe even reassuring for Lerio. The fact that Rune Mage was the choice to answer means that there's no lock in hand, right? Because otherwise that would have been played first. Well, Bruja does get rid of the Berserk ability. And there's no real other way to self-damage now that you've used so many leader charges. So you're probably only getting one more click out of this Canute. Which isn't really what you want.
Yeah, Nilfgaard being annoying here, removing your Knuts, but giving you a chance and then denying it, just like this. Very rude.
Yes, very nice. With the order floating on the board that turn, makes good use combining with the spores to get the one-turn answer. Alternatively, here's a priest immediately being established for Dauren. Only a 1-point engine because there's no further synergies, but could play something with armor next to it perhaps.
Okay, so we see Lerio saying, you buffed my Knut. I'll do you one better. I'll give it vitality, so I'm definitely not reactivating it by any more means.
Yeah. So
it's Ramon for staying in the round. Armor is nice, of course, for the priest to ping on.
Yes, semi-significant commitment here, but this gets really awkward for Lerio. Like, the Sigdrifa's right is terrible, especially because the priest just summons to the right of the row. The Human Courser has no armor to play off. The Berserker likely plays for about 8 points. Sigvald's 7 with no other synergies as of now. So I think can you contest by playing a berserker?
I mean, you probably can, but do you gain anything out of it? Unless your opponent passes and then you play. It's very awkward. Of course, there is like 3 extra points from the vitality, so you're staying closer, but maybe not close enough.
Yeah, I mean, that was more or less just negated by that priest ticket, especially with the armor from Ramon. So round control going over to Dauren. Same as last game, right? Nilfgaard wins the round 1 to begin with. And yeah, now they can establish all their artifacts. We see that the Draco Turtle is finally found, but Team Corsair gets chucked back into the deck. Even though one of its better targets is now.
Well, Corsairs are not supposed to be riding Draco Turtles, honestly, so it's understandable money then.
That's fair. And the Martyr going back finds the Pella, but with how gold heavy this hand is, no cavalries, maybe the Pella can answer a lock from the Rodeo. Norska should just be the top card, Submarine should instantly proc, and I don't think there's a slash or anything that, I mean, slash wouldn't even get a kill, but yeah, not worried about damage finishing this off.
So yeah, this is self-wound once again with like, can I please do my game plan, Nilfgaard? Yeah. And so far with the heat wave, with the lock available, it's a big question mark.
Yeah, no totem, no Troll, no Svalbard makes this quite hard to defend, I'd say, for Lerio. I'd also say likely this heat wave just goes onto the Marine here. This deck doesn't go super duper tall. Yeah, you could maybe Heatwave, Norsk, or whatever it plays Battle Prep on, but I mean, this Marine, since it's the first play in this round, is definitely going to get to at least 10 points.
So do we see card roll the setup on the rope? Can be one of the 2 warriors, I suppose. Breach is fine. Is this round gonna be requiring Lerio to play at least a couple more cards? Okay, so Shoop, as you mentioned, nice answer. And there goes the card roll, making Drimviandra not that hot anymore, but at least Lerio's version is running only one of them, so maybe he can avoid breaking that into his hand if we do get round 3.
Yeah, that's all the Nearmancies are now used up, so it has to actually draw everything itself in this next round, because yeah, no tutors remaining for Lerio. And the thing is, as a Calvi deck, Dauren is guaranteed to find all the good stuff, basically. Find the Sergeant and I guess all the best bronzes remaining. We do see Heatwave on Marine, since that is getting kind of tall at this point, but we again see Illusionist onto Priest. In particular, able to negate some of the bleeding in this turn coming up next, since the Priest will trigger before the bleeding and the ship sinks.
Yeah, so there is still, of course, since the Knut was refreshed, there is the combo, so if Dauren has to pass, Lerio should be making the points with Draco Turtle sequel to Knut, but for now it doesn't look like a good spot to be in.
No, and again, this time I wouldn't be surprised for Dauren to commit hard with these locations and actually force out combo pieces. But yeah, we still need Lerio to play. Likely has to play some combo piece, but now it can just be answered by either the Heatwave
but
or
that's
very quick pass, actually. Yeah, with the cavalry. Lerio takes the card advantage in last say. Not
yeah,
sure
I don't.
matters.
I don't think that was was the plan.
Yeah, not sure if that was intentional from Dauren. It very well might have been, because with the Draco Turtle gone and the Trolled and Canute too, the Sigrifa's Right is under a lot of threat. That the Heatwave and Rodea together can answer a lot of the things which
Okay, let's put it into the maybe category. Maybe that was intentional, like, okay, you got me here.
But yes, I mean, with Svalbard being the main win con for the next round, if Lerio did find both the Svalbard and the Totem, that would maybe have not been so great in this slightly longer round. I mean, granted, you can armor up both these soldiers, but like the Rodea and the Divine are not getting much armor either of them.
But yeah, Lerio definitely can use all the help he can get here with that extra card. Is it good enough? I'm honestly not sold on it, but let's see. Let's see.
Be curious to see what this Sigrifa's Right is going to pull. Do you go for the Draco Turtle for the synergy with the Corsair? Or do you try to bring back the Canute? I mean, that seems quite questionable, generally speaking.
Yeah,
unless the Sigil sticks around, which I don't see happening.
There are 3 control cards and
1 pillar.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Lerio would run the quick calculation through on what do you actually get the most value of. Considering we do see the continuation, it should be the Draco Turtle indeed, splitting the points between 2 cards, but answering Draco Turtle is basically answering the Corsair, but this way, well, not exactly.
Yeah, if you wait for the cooldown to be up, then the Pella means you can get another click of the order. That's another +4 points the time the Pella gets played. Not too shabby. I imagine we're going to see the Berserker sequenced such that it triggers the same turn the Barblood gets played.
Yeah, can't answer them all.
But, yeah.
I'm still not sure.
Like,
that Draco Turtle still sticking with the Corsair or with the Peller.
Yeah, I think
better target.
Look, it's easier because we can see both hands, but yes, I mean, Lerio basically drew all the big threats here, as well as the answer to the lock. Okay, we actually see the Corsair locked as well, so maybe if that was the play, then sure, that makes sense.
Like, without Knut, the Sigvald is not that much of a threat. Of course, he will be absorbing all those Sigvald Svalbard explosions, but
yeah,
it's not that great. You still can unlock Corsair though.
Yeah, I mean,
you don't have to get the Draco Turtle points. And it's not like you have anything better to on. Although, okay, with the explosions. I just like the Corsair because it's a smaller unit.
Yeah, plays around the hero a bit more. But yeah, I'm curious how you sequence. You just played the Berserker here first? Kinda hedge your bets. I mean, I don't think there's any reason for Dauren not to just respond with the Norsk in that case.
Okay, so decides to put more into this Draco Turtle. Kinda makes sense with the target for Sigil click as well. And yeah, we do see that Svalbard will be struggling getting through 2 of the 4 cards Dauren has on board.
Yeah. Yes, I'm not even convinced it's that much. I mean, yeah, Lerio might very well just end up with more units that get damaged by this Svalbard. So there might I assume you still just play the Berserker first? But then if you don't want to do the triple trigger, you'd have to use the leader on the Berserker to trigger it prematurely and then play the blob.
And then you damage what you transformed anyway, so...
Yeah, that's true.
And what you spawned as well.
But also playing it this turn, it wouldn't summon an additional Fanatic, so I think it's still sort of better off playing like this. But I don't think it's a 30 points for blood either here. It's kind of a moot point.
We all see every time this old blood is getting plate metal going into the blob, but here he's just doing the negatives and his own army of followers, and it's 1-1 even with the extra card. The self-wound just cannot do that against Nilfgaard.
Yeah.
They are definitely not friends.
Yeah. Let's say it doesn't matter as much in self-wound matchups. Typically, it's more so whether the big threats get answered or not.
Shiro Waters. Do you just burn it?
Maybe. I mean, if it can give you round control, perhaps, but... I mean, yeah, if you see waters into waters, that could be a consideration. We do see Saskia found for both players. Dana and the final mulligan for Lerio. Could see Dana to start off here. Curious if that changes sort of in a Omni Mirror or not. I mean, the only answer would be that Heat Wave or Shiru for the Dana.
Yeah,
Yeah, down not finding.
Both players found a lot of similar cards. Shiro, Water, Heat Wave, Saskia, as you mentioned. Let's see. How different will it get? How reactive is Dauren, for example, to what Lerio does, or is it just copying? Or maybe just getting out of the round?
I guess the other considerations for the Dana is that you're probably playing the Saskia immediately. You have two specials in hand which aren't being boosted. You have the Shiru, which I don't know what power you want the Shiru to get to, but boosting him to 4 might not be the play if you want to do that Shiru Waters play. Chameleon isn't very good to boost either because it's going to be replayed, so Dana's only buffing up like a few units that actually matter. I don't think it's that crazy for Dana, so we might see it being held on to for later on.
So Dauren is having a big think here of am I just answering and mirroring what my opponent is playing, or... Okay, Tyrion. Can say that's committal to anything. It's definitely not the Saskia commitment, and probably we are not seeing Saskia anymore from the red coin player here.
No. Yeah, Lerio probably either committing to Xantharian, Xantharian at a minimum, and then likely either the second Chameleon or the double poison.
Not a big fan of double Chameleon gun this early.
Yeah, and since you're not going to pass at 7 here, I'd expect it to be the double Bride Ranger most likely. Already 2 6s on board for Dauren. I mean, if you're going to shoot with Waters, this is basically Waters but better, right?
Yeah.
But with Dana, there's no reason to go for such a... Yeah. Let's do the Omni being spread. What tag did the Chameleon gain? Again, the Dryad tag.
I'm not sure, was there any reason to click him before playing?
anything?
I don't think so. It was a beast previously, and if you played a Dryad, it would have had harmony, so... Yeah, I'm
so
not
I guess
sure
the second chameleon... No,
maybe...
I mean, unlucky, but you trigger the harmony anyway, as you say, yeah, so unless you wanted to get a beast on the board, but you already have a beast anyway. Ah, wait, yeah, it just get a new one. So, much. I guess Lerio went for the double chameleon round 1 victory line. Was it intentional? Probably. Everything players do is intentional sometimes.
Yeah. Yeah, totally. Except losing.
Yeah, we can have that.
I mean, Dauren is not winning. I guess the only question is whether another card is played past 6, but with every other card being gold, I don't expect anything to be played.
Okay, Berserker. The best setup for Spicy Shirus is out of the deck for Lerio. Now, there is another one, so he can rely on his services to get the extra spice. Good draws on the first card for both.
Yeah. Now the interesting thing is there's a bit of asymmetry. Lirio's Dawn has evolved, Dauren's is not. Dauren still has Saskia. So if you do see a bleed, could be quite an interesting sort of consideration that maybe my Dawn is better because it's evolved, and your hand could be sort of awkward to gain the Dana value.
Pushing into Saskia. We are closing on the point of like Waters Shiro line somewhere here.
Yeah. But the other thing with Saskia is then you just pass, you go into long round 3 where your opponent has Saskia advantage.
Is she that
which will help you gain a
a
bunch of tags for Dana. It's still very solid.
Okay, we see the scenario exchange for the heat wave.
Yeah.
And
so
now Waters come as well.
Yeah.
And we play like there is no tomorrow.
I am the forest.
Okay.
The forest is me.
You can of course commit a leader charge and offset them, but you have another 6 in your hand, so it's not like that helping too much.
You're exactly right on the money.
You do burn them. The question has been got. But where 2 Dryads burn, potentially 1 comes back.
It's like a reverse Hydra, gosh. Yeah, Dauren's nice here. You can give you already have a unit on board to give over the Harmony tag, get a bit of additional Harmony generation. Now, the thing is, since Dauren did the first Shiru, if we did see the Waters coming out, that'd be another 6-point opposing unit for Lirio's Shiru to potentially find. But it is the Saskia play, able to get ahead here for Dauren as well. And now is where it gets a bit difficult to contest for Lirio.
I know, I'm not feeling it. The push.
I'm not either, but I don't think the long round would have been good either.
I think while Saskia is at like extra points, you can find the Shiro lines maybe, and she's also blocking some of the tanks. But we've seen Lerio also commit double chameleon, so he most likely was doomed in a long round. Just considering all the things that got played already.
I think Lerio probably should just go all in here. Make it awkward with the scenario for Dauren. Make it awkward with these Waters still remaining. Make it awkward with this Dana being held, because on a deploy that's still nothing right now. Same for this sort of Percival. Now you don't really want to poison like these Dryads, no, you just play the Donna. Goes for a double harmony onto this one unit. That's interesting. Although keep in mind, if you play the Donna, then the Shiro will be immediately going to 5. And answer this Saskia. But yeah, it's... I don't know if that's so wise.
The wilds shall reclaim your
Okay, and there goes the Comida, providing potential carryover onto the last say Dusk aspect.
I think you could... Is there an argument to go double leader Shiro at 3 here, even? Like, it sounds not great, but you do deal with a couple of quite important engines. Your opponent basically has no engines remaining at that point, apart from the Saskia and this Poison Dryad, which you can finish off.
Okay, you can... no, you cannot save another leader charge as the harmony will be triggered on the Ranger, so not easy to set up.
Yeah.
What an awkward game.
Okay, we have 6 coming up.
With the 7s, with the Chameleon.
Yes. Very nicely played there by Dauren, and yeah, with the double Chameleon being used, that was not an option for Lerio. So now, yeah, you could go for... But yeah, if you play your Shiri now, your harmonies go to 6. Maybe you can wait till they go to 9, perhaps. Or... Wait, if you play Donna this turn, then you can Shiro next turn on Harmony proc at 8. That could be interesting. And there's no way for Dauren to not trigger Harmony here, unless you play Scenario, but that's what does it.
Yeah, this goes to 9 now, with the Chameleon OP.
Oh my. Forgot that little Chameleon there.
And the issue is, even if it's close, there is still a Saskia commander, so Lerio cannot go like, I was so close of getting out, there would have been like a leader charge, but Dauren is managing this round, bleed defense very nicely.
You just heatwave the Percival and go all in with Shiro? I mean, that sounds so bad, but I think Lerio just needs to threaten the 2-0 here. At a minimum, you need to get the Scenario out next turn. Yeah. Yeah, you can't... If you pass here as Lerio, you lose the game on the spot. So you have to commit. Even if it feels bad, you have to do it. But yeah, this year can be a big swing. Yeah. Is there an argument that Dauren should discard here? No. With Chameleon, you can get the Dryads to 11, and then
11 is bad. 11 is the
No. 10 is fine. Well, yeah, 10 is fine.
So, Dana carry over time, let's go.
Yeah.
Look at that. Oh, he clicks.
Wait, a click? Surely, okay, you need a leader in a spot. No, okay. This feels like Dauren is just artificially introducing a lose condition now, right?
Okay, Lerio will have to play all the... No, not all the leader charges, but yeah, that was definitely not necessary to click the Chameleon.
And then just...
and now, yeah, also the last leader charge. Nice points made here by Lerio, and...
Now Dauren needs to commit both cards.
Finisher.
Yeah, I think Dauren might have sort of cinched defeat from the jaws of victory here, it feels. Is this even 2-0?
Is not making it,
Yeah,
especially with
no harmony trigger because of the end theory. That's a 2-0.
Okay, it looked so good until it did not. Until it backfired greatly. So if you are a sub of this channel, please spam some Shirus in chat, because we've seen a good one, but it was just delivered on the plate for Lerio by Dauren. And this is how the harmony mirror goes. Apparently. A bit surprising outcome.
Yeah, I feel like
screen as well, so we know that Mayamon is there as the top one of the crown point rankings of Shadows. Has tutoring available in the royal degree, but we don't see Dagon. So you do have access to Brewers or Dagon, but not both. And
that's so bad.
That's so awkward.
What's okay? Is there an argument to greed the round if you have the situation? Do you just greed the Dagon into like its evolved form and hope to put pressure on the Heatwave for Lerio? Maybe. And yeah. The immediate Brewers. So I think without the Dagon, this tempo pass becomes a lot less possible for Dauren to sort of force a preemptive win, even from Blue Coin. Especially with Lerio having this Drakar and Priest. Yeah, you can play. I mean, Drakar isn't going to be answered by Cyclops straight away.
I mean, leader charge committed, and it can be. If you decide to spend your consume from the leader, then yeah, Cyclops answers that, but it might be overcommitment, considering your opponent probably has other means of setting up the combo.
Yeah. Yeah, like from memory, because this was one of the matchups. Okay, it wasn't Self Wound, it was the, if you remember, like the Patch Saddle Fury version of this sort of list, which had like Sove instead of like the Draco Turtle sort of shenanigans. But yeah, like this, like the Skylar would often just give up the round one and then aim to defend with the Swellblood. So we see Slayer Harpy eating up the Brewers Ritual. Double Succubus out already is not what you want either in terms of those pools.
Yeah, at least you have the location, but you'd prefer one of them sticking to the deck for now. No
also
reason.
Makes the eating placement for your Unbreaker Warrior very awkward too.
Yeah, that would have been more fortunate for Dauren as well. But we do see the consume.
And I think this is also really nice for Lerio. Playing the Priest as his third card, not the second, means that if Dauren were to answer, it would be going below that 7-card threshold, giving Lerio a chance to pass. Whereas if Dauren just passes, well then great, you got your Priest Drakar combo to stick for the 3 turns needed or whatever to catch up. So yes, then it should be quite easy to make up this gap without needing to overcommit too poorly. And Long Round's Foulblood is very good against Deathwish, let's just say, so I don't think Dauren can afford to go for that sort of temporal pass here either.
One thing Lerio definitely doesn't want to do in this situation, we also see the Sakubai combo broken here with the kill, and now one of them is of course gone, but now you have no problem, you just rely on the one from location and the second being there.
The problem is there's a Skrull in Lerio's list.
Yeah, but you'll have to take your chances here, I suppose. Winning the round one is overly important.
Because, yeah. Also keep in mind there's also Skrull in Dauren's list, so Lerio can't really go with like an early Canute Sigvald, let that die in an early round and bring it back later because it will likely, just get screwed. You probably want to bring the Canute back the immediate turn after it dies to play around that screw, I'd say. Scroll found for Lerio, and with Dagon now evolved, you're not using the scroll to answer that Dagon. It's very good now to just no more succubus value. You even see Detlef getting mulligan. That's interesting.
I mean, you have the Dead Wish tutor, and the alternative is the Breach Troll, so it makes sense with the Hillock.
Sorry, I'm just blind. I completely missed the Hillock right at the right there. I was looking at the middle of the hand and just not
clearing up the confusion a little bit. I'm pretty certain I do tunnel vision and stuff as well. So hitwave check immediately. And you kind of have to, don't you?
The alternative is set up like a KO troll into Olgierd, but like, that's not that great.
Especially with card trolls potentially getting hitwaved and Dauren sensing what's up. Although, of course, the Dead Wish cannot just buff Dagon out of removal range. So, if you get the chip damage, maybe it's not as devastating as getting an extra card.
You could maybe see some shenanigans with there and die, but I mean, this likely just gets heat waved. Not maybe? This is a long consideration. Okay.
At the moment, effects are summoning the lowest power. Dead Wish. And Storm that Lerio doesn't care about.
No Toad, okay. Dauren is offering up a choice for Lerio as to what to heatwave right now. Probably the other getting eaten with AQ. This third Death Wish effect for Dagon, spawning Storm on the opposite row for 2 turns, not doing awfully much. And likely the 2 damage to the lowest enemy units isn't doing too much either. But I don't think you can't let that get to 5 because then extra Dagon in hand is just
no.
And then you have your AQ get another Dagon, the one from hand coming back. I think that's just, you can't afford that. Yes.
And it's not surprisingly Dagon that disappears from the board. No more heat waves though. Can float whatever you wish.
And there's no rush to play the scroll. You can always lead with it in like the round 3. If you're not expecting the succubuses to be played in addition this round, which you still have the AQ and the Detlef for consumes. Like this succubuses ain't coming back anytime soon. You're able to establish other threats here for Lerio. A bit annoying to not have access to the KO troll. I don't think you can do many shenanigans with the Draco Turtle here. It likely is going to be Totem into Swarblood, I imagine. And then just putting pressure on this heat wave to have something between the KO troll, the Sigvald sticking. Draco Turtle. So it could be something like Totem into Berserker into Blob. Very scary, a lot of damage to the entire board. That's gonna be what, like 4 damage to everything?
Yeah, Dauren needs to establish the board for that. Okay, drones are small, but there is a lot of them, but and the Detlef will provide targets. Okay, we do see that amount of units is growing rapidly. Does it ask for commitment of Sigvald. Already we do see the highlight on the card. Like the lines you mentioned are nice and all, but maybe you don't catch up that easily, so...
Yeah. Look, the thing is, since you're able to shut down the succubus now, like this Death Wish, apart from Erendite, they have quite limited sort of points in the round 3. So you're fine if you have this Sigvald sticking and you're able to get out of this round. I think Lerio is in a pretty good spot at that point. So this is sort of the reverse to the last game, where Dauren doesn't have much left for the round 3, so it's sort of forced to keep playing into this round.
Yeah, looking at the deck, it's a tragedy to have a hand like this in round 3, unless you preserve something.
Except the problem is that Dauren isn't an engine deck. There aren't engines getting value here, as opposed to last game when Lerio was bleeding. In fact, the Swablord only becomes better the more units that Dauren ends up playing. And especially if the Sigvald sits on the board and doesn't end up eating this heat wave. So, okay, we see Screw, bit of a slow play. We might be doing the Swablord math, saying, well, Swablord will get me ahead here, so I can afford to just do the slow play and just shut down any succubus shenanigans. So now Doldalok maybe just plays for a Consume with Chimera at this point.
Yeah.
And it might actually be the case, because there's no other Consume in hand unless you commit Leader.
Okay, there we go. And Chimera is getting featured here, also bringing 1 extra point on the deadlift. You'll love to see that.
Oh, wow.
Synergy, wow. D-line.
Wow. So, yeah. And also, of course, Lord Riptide, not good here in terms of damage. You can play it for 10 points. It has armor. There's even might now for Dauren. So that armor helps against the Swablord. Maybe just Heatwave the Sigvald as well and just allow the K-Troll to go through later, but that's very bad when there's still Draco Turtle in deck.
Yeah, this is more of a game where the Blob-chan can attack and point swing compared to the previous one. Okay, so Lerio just continues. After setting up the Sigvald, he's saying like, I have an option of triggering it or like buffing it, but for now I'll continue playing bronzes.
I think good play from Dauren, just dealing with the Swablord, the Berserker, so there's not another bear coming out for the Swablord to do more damage to the board. We could see Knut actually being played here even. I think if Swablord is not enough for Lerio, but it is just the Swablord coming down.
And more explosions, fireworks, welcome here. And yeah, you're not doing much going tall with Mark Drum, you can do that later. More fireworks, Mr. Lerio?
You click at least, probably considering whether you click the 4 power or the 3 power. Those sort of maths are beyond me right now.
Leader charge commitment, maybe?
Yeah.
But
I believe there's
with
a
Dragon
slight
Turtle there is no necessity for that. Of course, that's not enough to catch up, as he was damaging his own stuff as well, but I would assume the math has been applied.
Yeah, I mean, you can just martyr and click the old geared super easily, and
have a low unit,
there you go.
Also have a unit resistant to damage.
Yeah. So, yeah, it says Riptide, Heatwave, and Erendite. Erendite at 13 damage right now for Dauren. Not bad at all. But then the rest is just literally bronzes, and you only have 1 Death Wish unit in this Bridge Troll. So, all these consumes, not doing very much. Megascope.
Was there anything better than... I guess this Squirrel is potentially better.
Yeah. As for Lerio, Neomancy is a great find. Draws into the K-Troll. Gotta love that. Viola's alright. I mean...
Could There is still 4 points of carryover in the graveyard, triggering on the breach troll.
Yeah.
Finds one blacksmith for 5.
Yeah.
And then you have a warrior still coming in. So. Is this your Riptide? I guess the priority is to deal with the graveyard.
Gets rid of the Sigvald, says, I don't want you bringing that back. Because that puts too much pressure on my heat wave. Does let the Carrot stick for a turn here. I have a feeling that it's likely just gonna end up going onto this Draco Turtle. Might be possible for Dauren to win this if able to shut down enough of the threats coming out from Lerio.
No last saves. You cannot hold the Draco Turtle as potential, I don't know, finisher, not finisher, but a power play. So we do see Lerio just not developing his big cards at the moment. Gives a big flash.
Yeah, and I still building up to 15 damage. I don't know if Lerio has enough time to establish these points and get these sort of pieces working together. I don't even think the right is particularly good in its current state. It can bring back a Svalbard, but it's not looking so hot.
Yeah, well, the heat wave is looking hot.
Yes, very hot.
We do see that Lerio decides, well, I don't have the last say, and the leader charges. What are they for, other than the Draco Turtle? So the exchange is happening immediately.
I like this a lot, because it forces the heat wave whilst letting the K-Troll stick. Although, I think K-Troll with no Draco Turtle, no Sigvald, it doesn't really have the synergy to do awfully much at this point either.
Yeah, the Sigvald would have been very nice here, as that kind of denies Iron Dite at the moment. But there is a breach troll playing for what, 12? Can't say no to that.
Might have underrated Dauren's answers here. The heat wave might be sufficient, combining with this find on the squirrel. Because, the threat of the Arendite makes it very awkward for Lerio to establish the Canute. I mean, this has to be the blob, I imagine. Probably with Leader and Lake to get the extra bear.
Gets the extra bear. No time to click the totem, but there was no point in that anyway.
Yeah. This is easy for Dauren. There's 2 huge tempo plays, 16-point Arendite, Bridge Troll, Bring Back Toad also playing for 12. 3 points on the leader. I don't think a Canute's going to be able to quite scratch the surface here.
Yeah, Lerio needs like 14 points here, 15, 16 to win, and that doesn't look like he's getting there. Unless it somehow gets very close, but I don't believe so.
Yeah. 7. Yeah. Can't even bring another bear out with this Canute either, so yeah. Wow. Kudos to Dauren. What can be quite an awkward matchup, able to space the removals just right. And put enough pressure in the round 2 that despite some very unfortunate draws in the round 1, despite both the Succubus's coming out way too early, putting the squirrel, putting the heat wave to good use.
Turns out Breach Troll OP.
Yeah.
And we do have ourselves a good long series with a Decider on the horizon. There we go.
And will be Harmony Self-Wound with what, blue coin now? It's the Saskia at least, and I feel like you still would rather play the Saskia over the Waters in the round 1. simply because the Saskia helps with thinning, makes it a bit more likely you'll find like your scenario and whatnot. So we have a Drakkar as a powerful bronze engine, no priest in hand to follow up with, no Corsair either. Maybe this Mask of Rubros can find something good. Also interested to see what this verification ends up doing. Will it be used offensively to shut down Dauren's scenario? Because that's such a bad trade in tempo. But at least if you're playing the Svalbard in the same round as you go for the verification, you're able to kind of nullify a bit of that difference.
Oh, look.
And
I killed
yeah.
card. We didn't see the setup from Lerio.
Yeah, argument to have just led with the KO Troll to have the ability to shut down the Donna. But yeah, Donna sticking, as you mentioned, being in the hands of Dauren, Donna sticking, I don't think those hands of Dauren will be so happy to just give up the round.
So of course there is an access to Heatwave. Dauren also managed to assemble quite the collection of tags in his hand. Ain't almost all of them unique, barring the elves.
Yes, and also technically the beasts, I suppose, but I mean, Chameleon isn't going to stay a beast, so they're basically
the carryover on the Chameleon doesn't make any sense. But yeah, this is the problem of I'll set up my board and I'll remove your card later. The leader charges are there to protect from it. And Dauren is quite happy with what's happening at the moment.
Yeah. Yeah, so the two removals you need to play around with the Canute, as well as that KO Troll, but of course, for the KO Troll, it needs to be played and then sit on board for a turn, at which point Dauren might even just go for a Heatwave onto the KO Troll to keep the Donna alive.
Somebody mentioned that you're 2 times louder than I am. I guess I forgot to bring the mic closer, but thanks for letting us know, Red Phoenix. Much appreciated. Okay,
Apologies.
so finally the Heatwave. Maybe Lerio was actually playing for that. You'll have to buff and spend a leader charge and make your Shiro more awkward. And I'll Heatwave that, so you allow a little bit more of carryover, but you get the leader carryover out, and well, the harmony, stacking up those boosts on a unit is nice and all, but in the end, you'll have to also play something in round 1, so...
Also like the delayed Saskia. Like, this is a pass for Lerio. Saskia doesn't get ahead.
Yes. And
now... we Chameleon out round 1 again. But I wouldn't say it's as bad because Svalbard tends to clean up Chameleons quite easily. Yeah. This was the worst poison that was found, so probably happier that that was thinned out compared to Dried Ranger, but yeah, probably would have rather that had been an abandoned girl instead.
There we go, scenario. Mount for Dauren.
I wonder if Lerio will keep the Doom in hand here.
So risky.
Yeah, it doesn't look like Dauren has been heatwaving this location in previous times, so maybe so. Instant verification. Yeah, this is probably going to be a long bleed, and likely similar to the last game we just saw. It's going to be Svalbard to try and clean up all these bodies on the opponent's side of the board.
Nice tag denial on the beast, giving your opponent Elder Prayer, denying the Lane Guardian Dusk Aspect carryover, but also, yeah.
Ooh. That Great Sword is a great pull. Very nice synergy with that Svalbard, of course.
I am the forest, and the forest is me.
Okay, so Shiro at 5, can be at 8. Is the numbers to look for Lerio, but unlike us, Lerio doesn't see and doesn't know what was in hand, what wasn't, so that's always this a code that you can should solve yourself, looking at what your opponent is doing, what's lining up, what's getting hit.
Yeah, like he'll know that this year I either got buffed by 2 in the round 1 or not. And now kind of has a lot more numbers to play around as a result of that.
Mean, Call of the Forest is also a nice addition because Shiro is usually not reaching 4, but with that he can.
So it's literally all multiples of 3 are now... Oh, actually not quite, because Cole would take it... Actually, yeah, if it was at 3, it would take it to 4. So sort of everything you need to play around here. See Poison as an answer, but we see that this would result in Call for Forest being committed for a second Poison follow-up. Could also Neuromancy a Peller if Lerio really wanted, but
there are still more poisons to come.
Oh, Peller was played anyways, so
okay.
That's not even possible.
that's not a thing then. Fair enough.
Oh, it's discarded, but yes. No worries about that.
Show me what flows in your veins.
Okay, so we do have a double 5 on the board. And okay, since Lerio decided he didn't flash last turn, trying that he doesn't need to, especially since, well, you are clashing with the unit immune to the damage, so it didn't really matter if the harmony was triggered one more time. But yeah, with the location use, Greatsword grows to 6. Of course, it's one click away from being removed.
Feels like a tempting Shiro, no?
Yeah.
Yeah. Clean answers. Now, could see the Dauren follow-up to refresh the location. But if the poison goes through, suddenly kind of back to square one here for Lerio. Alternatively, Totem could be a safer sort of follow-up, setting up the Svalbard just to be able to catch up. Then at that point, you have kind of limited tools for the round 3, but yeah, I think this is kind of forced. Just have this flexibility. If this poison follow-up comes through, then yeah, you just have to go for this Svalbard. I don't think there's much of 2 ways about it. See, Willow committed, actually proccing Harmony here. The higher commit than the Dried Ranger.
This Elder Bear definitely likes the Forest of Brokilon as his new home. He's been thriving, harmonizing with everything.
Still no heat wave committed from Dauren, which is very nice going into the potentially shorter round 3 where Lerio will have a bit of a tougher time getting multiple threats on board at the same time. So we do see the initial Sigvald. I guess Svalbard wouldn't have been enough to catch up at this point. Wanting to try to bit off an extra threat. And again, the thing with this Capture Adept is it's not going to necessarily help too much. When the Svalbard comes down, the last leader providing quite a bit of boost on this Weeping Willow, maybe a bit more significant in that regard. Svalbard can deal like 4 damage to a lot of things now, as the synergy with the Sigvald, of course.
And we do see that Lerio knows that he'll have to catch up anyway. At one moment, bam bam bam. Almost gets there. Not exactly.
Yeah, I think a leader commit and then clicking the Svalbard would do the trick here. Problem is I'm not sure then how you would re-trigger the Svalbard next turn. It does offer the pass. Yeah.
So there is a Draca Turtle in, but also Martrum. So Martrum should be doing the trick.
Could also just commit the leaders here to get the Dwim carryover.
Is it enough?
It should be with the blob, I imagine.
Ah, you mean the entire, not transferring the
I
last
think
one? Okay,
so,
fair,
yeah.
fair enough, yeah. This way, sure, and that's a great carryover because, well, the heat wave is not doing much anymore. Or like, it does do something, but that's not the threat. The trait you'd want to see.
Yeah, if K-Troll gets Heatwave, then it means that the Draco Turtle goes through, or something from the Sigriff is right.
Okay, top deck mode for Dauren.
Poison number 1 found. Purify potentially not that impactful here.
There are poisons, there is waters, and also Percival. Okay, so it's a Dryad, Dwarf, and a Beast. 2 triggers for the Harmony, no poison connection, but you have a big poison in Heat Wave.
Yes.
The Scorching Poison.
Yeah.
And once again, the Self-Wound having all sorts of cards in round 3. Usually rely on a couple big ones, but there we go. Maxi round 3 on a 6 points.
Yeah, it's not great. But I think I'm curious what this. It really depends what the heat wave does as to what the Sigriff right can pull back. I think whether you go for like a Canute maybe to extra value on the Draco Turtle or the Sigvord. I mean, yeah.
Can't really draw conclusions by only one series, but yeah, I'm wondering how did the Self-Wound do in the opposite semi-final, the Nequiz versus Archi. Of course, the players already finished as Metal raided us some time ago, so we are the deciding semi-final.
To be fair, what's it called? All of Darren's lists here that weren't banned, I think, the Self-Wound too, they all have like heat waves and I think tools and graveyard punish to, at the very least, have a possible matchup into Self-Wound. But if other players, I'm not sure what Archie's and Nequiz's decks look like. If they are more Devotion, they don't have the heat wave, don't have the banishes, don't have the graveyard removal. It can be a much better time for the Self-Wound bit. Yeah, like if this heatwave comes down on the Draco Turtle, I'm not sure how Lerio can get much else done in this round. Like he's just playing awkward pieces, and then Harmony kind of just point slams better.
What do you need?
There we go, as the Harmony removing operation starts.
Yeah, I don't think you lead it here because.
No, besides not true. He's not expecting a thing worthy of 9 damage.
I'm not sure why the heatwave wasn't taking the turn before, unless you're scared of the Canute, but I don't even think there's anything else going potentially tall enough for that to really be scary. Maybe a Dracar, but that's...
This is very close. 6, 7, 8. Was there a Spores? There was, but Lerio doesn't have the last say, so it would be troll to keep it. But Dauren doesn't know that, so keeps the bird as the last card.
What? This?
And this bird is 14,
which
is 1 point short.
Oh my lord! Wow.
Yeah, definitely cards and maybe lines that you could probably take, as you mentioned, the heat wave. Saving something on your side of the board would have been grand for Dauren. But we are congratulating Lerio with finishing the day with a victory and getting himself more free time. Now has to play tomorrow. But today we only, if I'm not mistaken, watching Dauren versus loser of Archi versus Nequiz. So congrats.
Sounds about right. Yeah, congrats Lerio. And then now the good thing for both Lerio and Archie, the other player, making.
Let's go.
Right. Only Naglfar found as a tutor for Nequiz here means there's a lot of pressure to find like the Hive Mind, the Dauren, potentially the Saya Quan too, to deal with some kind of engine that Dauren is putting down. But these double Night Wraith to be eaten by the Dragon Warrior not too shabby, and being able to fill up this back row.
So Crossbowman is kind of nice at pinging once away, but a bit too early for that, I guess, with double Deathwish unit being on the board.
The other thing is, I believe there's 2 11 provision cards in deck in the Shoop and the War Council tied for the sort of potential heist provision. So it looks like Dauren low rolled the choice, which opens up natural selection.
Decides to just risk it without leader commitment. That's somewhat of a costly mistake. Player connection lost is like, fuck it, I'm done with it. Please don't be, please return. Or whoever disconnected.
Oh, it's always so unnerving seeing that pop-up come up.
Yeah, and this is also lasting for longer than I'd want to see that window.
Same.
So, might have an issue here. Not sure on whose part it is. But I think it's a big... Oh!
We're good.
Wait. So long. And then...
Yeah,
wow. That's incredible. And hopefully not to repeat again. Okay, so Warrior is kind of helpful with...
This is 7.5.
Okay, he's not removing anything as you're not risking once again popping the Death Wishes, but the Death Wishes will be utilized by Nequiz if necessary. The Swarm is nice, access to Dauren would have been nicer, of course. You mentioned that the tutoring is lacking.
Yeah, I think Dauren is going to be largely happy if the Dauren does end up just being played in this round one, or at least one copy.
It's engine dead. And well, the engine might have been stolen, but there is no payoff for that one. And we see Gales. So Sharkan is your alternative. You have a 5 to kick to hit. Not ideal.
I mean, having the Gels top deck is nice, but you still need to find the Dauren before the Gels actually becomes useful.
Yep.
So it's especially if the odd gate gets played, that's just going to be an echo clogging the draws as well. And we see the Ramon commitment, bit of a late commitment, bringing the crossbowman after a few soldiers were already played, but doing a pretty good job at staying ahead.
And of course the crossbowman also did find the one of 2 Deathwish units immediately, as might have been the reason why Dauren didn't really commit them immediately. Oh, but now we see leader charges and stuff, and they are very good at... they are very bad at shooting small threads, but the Night Wraith that you cannot really hit properly, easily.
I think there might have been like something to do with the sequencing there that the Death Wish didn't properly. Might have not spawned both rats, I'm not sure. Resolved pretty quickly. Regardless, Nequiz getting out of the round already. And yes, this is what happens when Lara Dauren is not there.
Yeah, this is completely different game when you have like almost full rows, both of them, and a chance to play Lara. Ah, there she is.
There you go.
Okay, at that list. No swarm though, so that's another sort of disaster for the Tatterwing player here. And of course you can.
We know. Yeah, that's high commitment in this round and not going to help much either. Yeah, we know how Dauren likes to play with this list. Going to go quite heavy in this round. Imagine it goes Night Ray? Could maybe find something to eat it with a Rune Mage, perhaps? That could be interesting.
So we do have Swarm at home, says Nequiz, and has to commit leader charges, and also the Warrior. And I don't know, there is Rune Mage, there is Shoop as well.
Yeah.
The damage.
Yeah. I did.
That's a heat wave, if I ever seen one.
Wait, why did Nequiz play front row? That just... You naturally don't want to play front row against this deck because of that Bakal threat. I'm not sure on the reasoning there. That's a couple of points potentially lost.
At least it's not
oh
on
my gosh.
Yeah, but and he has a lot of units of his own, but he procs the Death Wish, and yeah, Red wins the game. This was the last drop that killed Dauren's will, Nequiz's will to play into this.
That was disgusting. But very good find, I guess.
Yeah, this was disgusting, and we are all in for this, but probably would appreciate if the games will go the full length, and yeah, the rows might be a little bit better for both. So we are seeing the decks at its at their finest.
Nequiz has to play Tatterwing again to be able to win the series, so we might see Tatterwing actually pull off its game plan.
But that was quite easy for Dauren with the pressure, even with, yeah, you mentioned not playing crossbowmen early, we talked about that. Maybe he was trying to preserve them, believing that he's not winning round one, but then the window of opportunity just opened wide with no Lara Dauren being available from Naglfar, no tutor for that as well. And, well, there was tutor, but you know what I mean. And yeah, winning round one. Getting the control, and also that nasty roll into the fork tail.
I mean, it was already looking bad, but the fork tail just secured it. Any possibility a Nequiz could get swarmed together was down by the wayside. But we'll see more monsters, but a bit of a different deck in the Death Wish, starting on the blue coin up against Pirate's Cove. Now, naturally pulling the strings, well, quite happy if you're able to pull a date with a succubus, let's just say.
At the same time, as we talked before, there is Riptide, Cyclops, Irondite, so control present, at least some, so maybe establishing all the categories isn't that trivial.
Yeah, or at least able to shut down some of the bigger threats like a little bird or a tunnel drill. Oh my gosh. Where's the counter?
Well, already on the screen. Although I didn't see the man come into the hand, but I would assume that's what you were referring to. So it's actually on the screen with the counter 1. Even if there is not that much Syndicate represented in the tournament, King of Beggars finds a way.
Okay. So Nequiz off to another slightly suboptimal start. At least there's no shady vendors or I think other tributes.
Yeah, so
which would
it's
make
just
this
that
more
card in
awkward.
hand.
Yeah. You see, Nilfgaard commitment means could either mean you're actually aiming to contest the round 1.
Yeah. This is like
Or
a Lerio
you're-
line.
Yeah. Or you're expecting your opponent to bleed you, so you're happy to have this sort of already sitting on the board to provide you some flexibility. It's having the extra tools to defend in round 2, which I expect to be the case. I don't think Deathwish is ever going to take this Pirates Cove to a long round 3.
Okay, so
alternatively, you see Temper Pass. Nilfgaard can ensure you don't have to go down below 4 cards. So here comes some poison.
Dauren nicely getting that giant out among all the... not all there was the breach troll of course, but yeah, that's a nice outcome. Would have been happy with the Megascope here, right?
Somewhat. I don't know if you'd have had time to play it.
Maybe.
Because the Dagon infuses 5 units, right? You need to eat 4 of them to worship Dagon enough. That's already 4 infusions on the board. You're only allowed to miss 1 infusion, which, if Nequiz passes this next turn, Dauren has to either commit like another consume or something, or Dagon's not coming back.
Yeah, but at least Dauren is not crazy enough. There we go. Yeah, Lemon is just too good at the video game, reads players and reads the situation. So it cost him a leader charge, but Dagon is a little bit bigger than the leader charge he considers.
Yes.
And also was not crazy enough to temple pass Syndicate into on ground when they have poisons and you have, well, some control, but not much of it.
Also, there wasn't even a consume in hand apart from the AQ, I think. Or I mean, technically Total Block, but again, you're not playing that. So I think, yeah, kind of forced just use the leader there anyways. Immediately finds last infusion on this bridge troll, quite nice. I'm not sure what happened with the mulligans. Those were super quick for Dauren, but Megascope sitting in hand is maybe not what you'd want here. And actually pulling the strings, getting mulligan.
Okay, so Nequiz is Verco can pull Collusion of course, but also Poisons, Strings and Eventide Plunder. No Justice in this deck. We do see the Heatwave, no Novigrad.
And a pretty good Riptide as well, getting rid of the double gangs, but the second Bloody Good Friends are here to have a bloody good time and hopefully stick around for a little bit longer.
There is Irondite, but it's a bit early for that to be dropped. So.
Yeah, able to just establish the Detlef. Nice thing is you're against a devotion list, no threat of the heat wave, so you can float AQ if you so choose. But I don't even know how great that is, because there's a distinct lack of consumes here for Dauren.
Well, there is a second Toad, but after that we should go for the Chimera route once again.
Yeah, I mean, Dagon coming back when the bridge troll gets played, I guess, but that's sort of, you eat up consume to get a consume back. And yeah, Little Bird 4 tags with that Little Bird cosplaying as a blind eye, but now going to have to cosplay from the grave.
A little bird, big target, so yeah, gets the sword treatment immediately. Bank showing What exactly? You're not pulling any
Could be
strings. Second bird.
Mutant Maker for the tags. Little bird for Blind Eye again, I suppose.
Yes, it is the blind eye, so 4 tags on the board. We do see Dauren playing AQ front row, avoiding the meeting with the toad.
Yeah. So you can get Salamander tag from either the Hounds or Failed Experiment, but the Firesworn tag is looking a bit harder to get. I guess the Siggy can get it, of course, but that might be locking up the Siggy for like a Firesworn collusion.
Let's
Shady,
see. Shady.
Could have Firesworn here, either from the Congregation or directly from something else, but going for Hysterion to Riptide, setting up a horse, and it looks like to gain a lot of coins back.
You could have set up it on Arachas Queen. That's the problem of that wish occasionally, as you have to eat your stuff. But yeah, then your opponent has the freedom of potentially over-profiting you if your coin situation is not great.
So this Megascope is a bit slow. Does get this Toad out, gonna help for next round, but not helping you really push the envelope in this round 2 here and now. But yeah, that's Little Bird getting the 4 boost through. I'd expect Horson's going to collect on this bounty, get back to a full coin bank. Quite nice to make use of the Horde effect for the Sea Jackal and just have more coins for the Little Bird going forward. And that would actually get ahead here for Nequiz, so... Or would it? Wait, does the Toad come back out? Okay, getting ahead with the spend.
Yeah, the spending is good enough. We do see the Chimera, I would expect, yeah. No Deadlift synergy, as you actually want to get the Deadlift out, but... well, consuming it is a bit of a struggle.
Yeah.
And as you mentioned, there is the Call of the Depths available for the Deadlift and Leader Charge. What does Doldolok put on top? Either Ciliana Harpy or Cyclops, and you cannot go all in, I am afraid, as in you need points for round 3. So
yeah,
you get only 1 Toad into the round 3 at the moment, which is bad. And Dauren kinda agrees, but at the same time he is going into round 3 against Jacques, Siggy, Collusion, Furco, with no extra card as well. Oh my.
The only gold remaining for Dauren is this Erendite with the Echo coming back now. It'll be good at the 11 damage right now, but I don't think it's going to cut the mustard.
KOB has left the hand. I think I'm removing the counter for now. Well, might need it later. Maybe, but maybe Syndicate just has a good time here in round 3 and the counter will be gone for today.
Yeah. And now the thing is that there's actually there's a very good balance for consumed Deathwish for Dauren here.
With the Dagon coming.
Except I'm scared of pulling the strings, especially with this tunnel drill, if you can damage the succubus and then steal it.
I think the drill actually called for the Iron Insta Iron Dite.
Oh no. Yeah, no, because just Nequiz just needs to lead a click drill, Furco pulling the strings, and that's it.
Well,
succubus
he's not
is gone.
going for that apparently.
Okay. Dauren might live another turn.
Coming into the cinema near you, live another turn. Okay, now the Erendite does the job.
Yeah, that was a strange couple sequencing of turns, in my opinion, but yeah, so now we'll have the Dagon coming out with the Bridge Troll being played back row, eaten by a Toad. surprised on the sequencing actually though. I would have expected the Dagon to come out first as well. Before the suck, but I don't think it makes too much of a difference.
Don't really need another jackal with the leader, and control gone from the opponent, so goes for the Huckster, but Huckster is with no category of use here.
Yeah. Yeah. So
Poison's...
you only have access to the 3 tags right now for Nequiz, no other units in hand. So Siggy's going to have to find the, what is it? Cut up. Well, there's no cut up remaining actually.
Yeah, that's also a problem. Okay, so Dagon has a huge target on its back. And the issue is you'd want to eat the egg. 46 points. I guess eating 5 is fine as well on the last turn, but yeah. Don't get the consume through. Poisoned by the mutated hounds. What kind of god it is, if he can be so easily answered. So 35 points. Syndicate, do your magic. Kenya, not much left in the deck as you pointed out.
Probably just
Salamandra.
Yeah, it's a shady vendor with collusion. We've seen minimal pulling the strings coming out. But yeah,
Where is the shady vendor stack? Guys, return it. So
yeah, should
40 points. Collusion does have a few, and enough by 3. Okay, very close.
Right.
An extra consume would have, of course, wanted for Dauren, but consuming by Dagon, that is already poisoned, wouldn't really give him any extra points in that sequencing, if I'm not mistaken. So it's 1-1.
Yeah.
And KOB counter is gone from today. Might require it tomorrow though.
So that's Deathwish. We'll need to try again another time. I think it did a one straight away against Lerio, I think. So this is the first loss we saw for the Deathwish today. Instead.
So this is Nequiz's blue coin, which, well, might once again mean the Tata Wink, we never know, but might as well be.
Actually.
Harmony, and can we get a Harmony mirror? Easily. We enjoyed one today. Dauren has the experience now maybe to pilot it a bit more differently, but we'll see. There's also a difference in Puff to Gale and no Heat Wave, if we are seeing.
We do find it. And yeah, Dauren looked very good on the red coin up until that pivotal Shearer, but if you can replicate that here, I think Dauren could be in it with a shot. And Nequiz is a bit different with no Heat Wave, but the Ciaran and the Pavka might actually help in a sense, just with a push a bit more in round 2, kind of if we see a similar way that the game unfolds. Naturally, Pavka is ranged a lot with the order, but both players have leaders which can move units back and forth.
Yeah, so Dauren does have Dana, and he runs double Purify, but no access to Purify this time around, so Kiaran might find insane value. And of course, there is the Curse Scroll if necessary. But yeah, before you get the profit from Yodan, you are asked the question, what are you doing about your opponents? And the answer is nothing. Also not shareable. And you don't have poison connects. So both Sheros are getting buffed, makes it more spicy.
Yeah. So Waters are protected at 6, but if we see a similar like chameleon Waters of Brooklyn play, be vulnerable at 7 instead now.
And there goes very unlucky from Dauren. He's been on the low roll occasionally here in today's quali semi-final times.
This is such a more efficient answer compared to a heatwave here, with the lack of purify being drawn. It basically now allows Nequiz just have this additional Pavko Gale, since the heatwave wasn't needed and not really sort of punished in that sense, by still having the answer for cheap. What did this chameleon find? Found a dwarf tag. Okay, sure. Not going to impact too much. There's a pretty good spread of tags in Nequiz's hand remaining. You have the Saskia dragon not being played yet, also the tree ant and the human in the abandoned girl.
Goes for another pickup, and it is of course the scenario that you cannot tutor otherwise. Should be sending back like abandoned girl, purify, probably abandoned girl.
Yeah, I'd say the Purify is probably worth more, despite not really proccing Harmony as much.
At the same time, yeah, this is Dana carryover, which is nice, of course. Wait. What did get shuffled back?
It was the Purify going back,
yeah,
so
I
he
guess
decides to keep. I guess also keep in mind the abandoned girl keys getting boosted after the sap was put back. So at 9 power now, I mean, that's not bad at all.
And I guess he didn't really feel threatened by the poisons landing on Dana. He would have seen it earlier.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So he didn't need the Purify anymore. Abandoned Girl goes back, and of course her presence might be vetted by the... Oh wait, what might it? Yeah. So by the Puffco being the human.
Yeah, so yeah, there's a decent chance Saskia might find her. Instant scenario coming out from both players. Dauren's still missing the Heatwave, so Heatwave could be pivotal in answering the opponent's scenario whilst yours going unanswered, because Nequiz did drop the Heatwave. But it doesn't matter if you don't draw it here.
Yeah. Why?
And that is one of the few cards which call the Forest cannot tutor.
So Nequiz might have expected things, but the things never happened. And yeah, the Shiro music is muted at the moment, him being at 4. Next turn, no chameleons on the board. All might come out, but we can also see players to be more alert and maybe sparing a leader charge to just split the waters.
By the way, Pavko would go up to 7 because it has human bandit as tags.
So can't open with that. Yeah, and we do see Nequiz playing Chameleon first, I think. Trying to set something up, but he already offers this Shiro here.
Wait. Nequiz can't fully proc the scenario. It's only Weeping Willow as Harmony. Sorry, Pavko has Harmony too.
Harmony
okay.
As well. And
Never
here
mind,
we see the Shiro. Well, the scenario is getting procced, but it kind of feels dry now that the water has been all...
Oh my gosh.
Destroyed by the Shiro. What?
I love it.
Yeah,
I love it. It's all dried up now. You're coming for my job, Kung Fu, huh?
Yeah.
You love to hear it. Couch Adepts, that was the role of the scenario here for Dauren, getting ahead by quite a large amount. Of course, though, Nequiz is not fully procced, and here comes the second Sappers, the one that puts the one off deck to protect this Kafka Gale. They're in a similar situation to the previous Harmony Mirror we saw. Dauren has the early commitment of the Shiruta onto the waters, getting this early lead. But now Nequiz is going to try to catch up with the Shiru, and I mean, there's also this huge Sasuke and Weeping Willow as well. Kafka can help set up a Shiru potentially.
Oh, we do get the emote.
Was that... Did he play the Dryad in the wrong row?
Just checking if the stream is alright, but he did play the Vitality row, yeah. I guess it doesn't matter, I don't see him winning without the huge Shiro winning the round, but I mean, yeah, that's, that's still no reason.
I mean, Weeping Willow Poison procs the final Harmony.
Yeah, that's the
trigger for the mysteries.
You also blocked the high roll opportunity with the Dryad, so...
I mean, and if you could also maybe get a Shiro at like 11 here after another Harmony proc for Dauren.
Yeah,
hidden the
Pop is
Amphibian
actually
and
kind of
Ranger.
useful at providing extra lines for the Shiro, but it is what it is. The 16 survives. Of course, there was a Purify in Dauren's hand.
But darling, it's your lucky day.
And Solitar is
Turns
zero
out
gifted a
that
tier
getting
1 sub to
Kafka that
Earth
Harmony added to him
97.
kind of
They
ended
have
up
given
true
11 gift
because
subs
the
in the
Nequiz
channel.
scenario still didn't end up fully procced. And yeah, you gotta be questioning the value that provided. So now Dauren has Waters of Brooklyn advantage, but Nequiz has an advantage when it comes to the Shiru.
And
and
also
now
Dana carryover for extra like 10 points.
yeah, it's quite significant there. But much better pull for Nequiz finding this Antherian, which provides a lot of harmony, whereas Dauren got the relatively useless abandoned girl here. Look at that synergy. Waters of Brooklyn helping provide some vitality to the young Dryad, and good play protecting against that potential Shiru, but we know the Shiru is buffed to 4, but it would still kind of come into play this next turn. Although second Antherian, not proccing any additional harmonies right now for Nequiz. So, but yeah, this Chameleon looking pretty good with how much harmony Nequiz is looking to have this round. Here comes Poison numero uno.
So
Another
Dauren is aware
roll.
of the role, learning from mistakes of the opponent. Playing the Poison Dryad into the melee row.
So, yeah, Sasuke finding Sappers and not the Antherian is just really not great here. It means that the Elf from hand isn't proccing harmony, even for summoning the Dwarf, or which would have been significantly better. That was like the worst roll that Dauren could have gotten there. But able to finish up the poison onto that Antherian.
That abandoned girl was maybe abandoned, but she's at 9 power. I'm not sure that she really struggled in her life.
No.
She was definitely eating well. So,
Yeah, parents must have left her quite a big will, and you know what they say, where there's a will, there's a way.
So there was Shiro available, right? But not taken. Any particular reason for that?
I'm not sure,
14 not winning you the game, so you should just go all in, but yeah, situation doesn't really change.
Maybe hoping something else would have been played to make it bigger, or thinking of going Shiro at 4 even?
Maybe, or deny the Weeping Willow, like Weeping Willow will be on the move to front row on the last turn. So Heatwave is just a 15. Dauren really says, I don't care, not really trying to. The units are split between power.
I mean, yeah, I think you just go for 4 here as Nequiz, double leader on the Weeping Willow, and kill it off.
Looks like it. Unless, yeah, you cannot really reliably line up the big units, and there's only like 2 of them.
Not a bad shear at all, though.
Yeah, there is still something to pull out. Dwarf.
I mean, Dwarf, only 4 in this deck. I think it's a minor, right? It's not the best, but still, when you're 40 points up, I don't think you have much to complain about in this sort of situation. Sure, there's a 19-point heat wave, but 2 leader charges ain't gonna make a difference. And that's the lead and match point now for Nequiz.
Okay, well done. Dauren is once again struggling with the win in the Harmony Mirror. But what's the last deck for Nequiz then? Tatterwing, we've seen that struggle already.
I mean, maybe Nequiz can actually draw the Laurador in round 1 and it goes quite differently.
Yeah,
I think it should have a decent time against Henry, because like, what are they gonna assimilate?
Henry is banned, right?
Oh, okay.
Unless I misread the screen
Oh no, I
in
think
the
you're
beginning,
right.
but yeah, I think Nequiz only has.
Yeah, I keep looking at the website. My 20 client website is bugged for some reason. I don't see the
Well, we
bans.
did get the restart.
Yeah,
Maybe.
it was bugged before that though, even,
okay.
so I don't know what's going on with it.
Anyway,
But, yeah.
so we do have Nequiz with the match point potential, has 2 shots for it.
Yeah.
Loser of this match leaves the qualis, will get another chance playing next weekend in single elimination top 8. But winner goes into the lower bracket final and gets a chance to qualify to the Challenger.
Yeah.
So
No, even from the position they're both in, they need to win this series and another. If they have to try again next week, next weekend, then they need to win 3 games in a row, 3 series in a row, and that's a much taller ask. So it is a Death Wish on the blue, Tatooine on the red.
Yeah.
Nequiz, of course, not much of a choice, but be interesting to see how hard, because these are both fairly point slammy decks.
Yeah,
but they
wholesome
play out
monster
quite
mirror.
differently. Yeah.
And by wholesome I mean, is it really? But there is some interaction with your opponent, some control, but yeah, as you point out, it's more of a point slam that you are winning by in this situation. Do we see leader charge?
Yeah.
No Dagon once again for Dauren.
Yeah.
So that means
Yeah, so Heatwave is going to be locked up for Nequiz coming onto that, I imagine. Early Hive Mind probably should be a scroll to answer the Hive Mind. Yep, snaps it straight away. And we do see the double toad with the Megascope here for Dauren, so that can be quite nice at building up that carryover. Provided that you're able to actually hang in the round, where Nequiz has a little bit of Swarm coming down already.
And
has its Naval Fast Crew and the Erendite. Yeah, the actual decree giving access to the Laurador.
And there is Frost, okay. Missed that out.
Yeah. So using the Cyclops to take out the Kikimo Warrior. And you see Foglet coming out. I was going to say before, Foglet could be pretty nice in this matchup. Having the Fog clean up multiple small bodies like multiple drones. But with the row it's currently on, I don't think the Fog's achieving that many kills. Really just one at the moment. Until some maybe extra drones or 1 power units onto the front row. So, yeah.
So there is an 8, 8, and 4 as far as the tempo goes. I think Nequiz can continue playing here.
Yeah.
Was that Royal Decree?
Yeah, that was decreed for Whisper's Tribute, because the thing is there's only 2 golds remaining in deck. It's only Gels and Dauren, which is a pretty amazing option for the Naglfar in this deck. Get the Dauren this round, and then Gels to Dauren in the next round. So here's the Foglet, cleaning up some drones. And what's the leaders here for Dauren at the moment? It's going to be a very big swing next turn when the Dauren comes down.
Yeah, and considering the frost is running out, you kinda expect the next turn from your opponent, unless they have double crew in hand available.
Yeah. There's the Oddgate as well, but the Oddgate itself also isn't that great here too.
Yeah.
Without Dauren playing, they're only on the front row, which I mean is definitely the correct way to play right now.
So decides that 4 tempo is good enough here. Plus the weather effect on both sides. I guess it's not exactly 4. Okay, only 1 leader charge sacrificed. Nice spot on only 2 golds, and yeah, get the carryover and get the points here. But nothing too insane. Still like 13 points if we discard the orders and weather.
Yeah.
Also, the Siren Diet is at 5.
Wait.
So we do have a leader charge committed.
And Dauren finally splitting rows, but I'm not sure quite why, because that just plays into this Oddgate now, makes it it'll be 6 points, not quite enough to get ahead, but I mean, decent play now. I mean, this makes more sense, just go for Saquon. Doesn't want to kill a Toad to give Dauren potentially extra reach and extra plays in this round, and yeah, does get ahead with the Saquon, forces out a nice 12-point Riptide. At this point with High Mind gone, it's not like Riptide has many more important engines to be killing off.
And there goes the Defrost, reactivating the engine as well, but providing Dauren with the pass if he wishes so. Because Nequiz's hand is stacked. Tattooing more wood finishers and the heat wave, which is yeah, necessary as Dagon is there. You don't have any more answers to that. I was in an ironic Morwood drop. Because yeah, you might be in a troublesome position if you don't get it out of your opponent. At the same time, like, yeah, sure, you can push it out.
Yeah,
when in doubt. Yeah, okay, goes for the carryover denial. Chooses Succubus over the Toad, but yeah, there's a bunch of Toads and only 1 Succubus.
Yeah. So yeah, it does force, so there's the Succubus in hand, but it needs to actually be played and consumed if Dauren wants to make use of it immediately. And of course he's find the Dodlock too. We do see Dagon in hand, was actually the top card being missed. Kind of analogous in the first game how Dauren was basically the top card in Nequiz's deck, which was a miss that you wanted to play in the round 1. So probably instant spontaneous evolution, and then probably just Naglfar as an answer to whatever comes next, and then Gels into Oddgate Dauren, and there's just going to be the good old Tattooing Morphid in a short round. Now, it's possible as well that in a short round, Nequiz could just deny the Arendite by basically just discarding and playing on interactive with the Tattooing Immunity and Last Say Morvid. Be interesting to see if that comes into play.
Okay, we do see the
It does
dragon
rely.
out.
It does rely on keeping the Last Say here, which with Dagon being here, not easy.
So that's 16 points, 17 with the frost. And also Gills as an extra body, so quite the point gap, but Detlef is here and toads everywhere.
Yeah, Toad and Dagon. Okay, do you use another leader here to get ahead? Does Dauren think that you can win a short round on even cards here?
Heatwave, no locks makes it possible for you to float the Rahas Queen if necessary. And I actually considered that and done it. And we get raided by Lerio. I wonder if there is another tournament happening in parallel with us, the Chinese mid-season. So I guess participants from this and joining us, welcome, and enjoy the game. Of course, winning the previous would allow you participate in both tournaments, I suppose.
So, I think Nequiz is going for the deny Arendite line here. Basically saying that I'm just gonna pay more, but if I get the last save back, great. Because now you don't really have a great consume play. Arendite also not going to catch up. This is actually really good for Nequiz.
So is he slamming AQ into the last toad? He does. Gets ahead. 76.
Wait.
Yeah, this is kinda the end.
Yeah, this is just too early.
Like you can consider and everything, but when your opponent has a heat wave that is only playing for 13, 13 plus 11. I mean, it would have been close. But sadly for the Death Wish, this is actually the end. There is no Death Wish effect pulling you back into this game or into this qualifier. So 3-1 victory for Nequiz, who will be waiting for his opponent dropping from winner's bracket final tomorrow.
Yeah, might be able to have a bit of a nicer time only having to play one series tomorrow, where no matter what happens, the Nequiz opponent will have to play 2 series, but yeah, I would probably still prefer to have...
We already discussed, you corrected me on that, right? The loser bracket final tomorrow is a single event, isn't it?
Wait, it's 2 games, right? There's the upper final and then the lower final, right?
Yeah, but the upper final is between Archi and Lerio.
Yes, but then the loser of that is playing 2 games tomorrow, right?
Do you mean double game against Nequiz?
No, I mean they're playing the winners final and then the game against Nequiz.
Yes, so they have to play 2. Okay, I misheard. Yeah,
and then Nequiz only playing 1.
Yeah, easy.
That's what I mean. I don't think I explained it well.
Yeah, I just because I myself was thinking at first that the loser bracket plays 2 tomorrow. was on my part. But yeah, congratulations to Archi, Lerio, getting to the winner bracket final, and also Nequiz still staying alive. Hope you guys enjoyed the series. Some more of it tomorrow. Of course, yeah, the regular reminder that you can contribute to the prize pool of the Challenger crowdfunding it. Links are in chat. You can also wait for the finals tomorrow. We will be casting it with Lemon, so it's gonna be a great fun. But we also have June 15th, 16th, top 8 single elimination, the basically open format where you lose, you are out. It's gonna be fun. And what we are qualifying for is the Challenger July 13, where Mayamon and 3 qualified players will be fighting for $1,000. And I think also some crown. No crown. No crown points for this. But yeah. Any big takeaways? We definitely didn't see warriors being brought. Only 4 players, of course. I